Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the back half of your class, ET 520. So, congratulations, you finished your exams. We're in the middle of grading them right now. Some of you have already gotten them back. There's no real way that I can control when your scores come back once I grade your exam. So, you get them back in the order that I grade them in and that Andy grades them in. So we're in the middle of that. So far, I've been very pleased with how you've done on the exam and that you're getting the concepts of the class. That's the main idea with the exam. If you didn't get a score that you wanted, just remember that there are some built-in things in this class to help raise your score. So make sure that you complete all the readings on time. Get your quizzes and those kinds of things in, and make sure you respond. So you get 100% on your readings, and then also 100% in class participation, and that will help your grade immensely. So but I'm reasonably happy with how you've done on your exams. And it's always a little tricky to give an exam in a class, but it's a way for online to be able to know that you have the concepts down and those kinds of things. So but I'm pretty happy with that. The thing that you need to know for this week is we're reading chapters 1 through 3 of the preface through chapter 3 of Exclusion and Embrace by Miroslav Volf. If you've read that before, great. It's a chance to review. It's one of my top 5 books, I think, in my PhD studies, and I use it in a couple of different classes because I think there's some really important concepts there, and then also real important life application through his experience in Croatia. So that's what we're doing in the next couple of weeks is we're just kind of reading through Miroslav Volf. What I want you to pay attention to, especially in the first couple of chapters, is what is a good kind of exclusion and what is a negative kind of exclusion that he talks about, because there are both. And in our culture right now, exclusion is not getting it's getting a bad name, actually, to be exclusive. And so I want you to pay attention to what he is talking about when he talks about good exclusion and how that is meaningful when he moves to embrace, and especially what it means to be exclusive and how much that contributes to a meaningful definition of love. So that's what I kind of want you to watch out for as you're reading through the 3 chapters, and then you can again go and do your quiz. We're going to be moving to a little more practical. So we've gotten the concepts down of pacifism, and you've read a little bit more about pacifism just based on the assumption of my previous classes that less people have encountered good arguments for pacifism. This is not a class or a polemic towards pacifism, but it's just getting the idea of what is this concept, how do people who are pacifists argue for nonviolence, and what's the biblical basis for that and the practical basis for that. And so we spend a little more time on that because my assumption is, and my experience is, that more people have an inclination towards just war theory and when it's appropriate to use violence in the cause of justice. So, but you've gotten that down, arguments for pacifism, the criteria and categories for just war theory. And then, of course, the focus of this course is the practices of peacemaking. And you've been reading Interfaith Peacemaking. And that's, I think, an interesting read because you get different perspectives on the 10 practices of peacemaking. As we move into the second half of the class, we're going to be talking about different concepts. You're going to be reading about gender in Exclusion and Embrace and how he applies his principles to questions about gender and sexuality. We're going to have a guest lecturer and a guest commentator when we read Park's book on race, And so really looking forward to that. That'll be Reverend Charlotte Williams, who is a student of mine and is a pastor at Allen Temple Baptist Church in Oakland. And she's going to be coming in the class. She'll film a lecture for you related to Parks readings, and then she will monitor the group discussion for the week and answer questions and those kinds of things. And Charlotte is incredibly versed in these conversations on race and peacemaking in race. So really looking forward to that. You'll have a group project that's coming up. I'll be inserting lectures along the way in your readings. And so for this week, though, I just want you to focus on kind of recovering from studying for the exam, and then also just reading chapters, the preface to chapter 3 of Exclusion and Embrace. Okay? If you have any questions, always feel free to email me or text me or call me, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have.